And they're off. Rossu being a bit slow in the morph ball grab there because of an enemy in his way. But for the most part, the runners are off to a pretty good start. Again, this early on, the runners are mostly going to be right behind each other. But as we get further along, we'll see a gap appear. Usually. Darko's around like 3 or 4 minutes worse, I believe, than Ross's PB. So by the end of the game, all things, assuming both players play at their current level, that's about the kind of lead we would expect.
And don't fail things like, maybe AWS.
Yeah, I would like to mention, as Paul mentioned here, last time these two had a race, the reason this race is happening is because last time they fought, they tied. So I mentioned assuming they play at their level. Well, obviously, we've already seen where things can go poorly. Ross is especially notorious for failing acid worm skip, which is a really tough trick that actually has pretty much been the decider for a lot of these matches. And if Ross messes it up again too many times, he will once again be in a position where he'll be behind. He does not get the double missile. I don't think he's gotten it this tournament. Well, he may have gotten it a few times, but now he's a little bit behind because he got the acid worm to not the acid worm, I'm sorry. He got the worm to him come down, but other than that, he's been fine, and his stream just froze up. That's not good. Oh, there we go. Oh, I knew Ross was going to fall down. That's unfortunate. But again, this early on, the lead's negligible. I think acid worm skip is really going to be the decider this time around.
As it usually is.
Probably one of the big downsides, honestly, of this game is acid worm skip, really. That's like the one trick that unfortunately can be really rough to deal with. And it's probably decided way more matches than it should have.
Yeah.
Both the runners kind of somewhat of a gap right now, but I fully suspect that this will close up a little bit.
Yeah, not too big of a gap, but we'll have to see how it goes.
I mean, I don't think we've ever... You could probably count on one hand the races in this tournament where at this point there was not like a 10-second or so gap between both the runners. This early on in the game, there's just too much of an RNG factor, and it just really decides like who's in the lead before they go into Norfair. A much better and more accurate representation to check here would be after Norfair, as they're leaving Norfair. that would give a more accurate tell as to who's actually ahead at the moment. And even right now, Ross is seemingly caught up a little bit, I think. Because also have to keep in mind, too, from my perspective, that Darko is like 4 or 5 seconds ahead. Like,
yeah, same
for me, so really the gap is, honestly, Ross might be, they're probably neck and neck, honestly.
Looking at the timers, yeah, looks like Ross is a few seconds behind. Or like the stream's a few seconds behind or something.
I checked our timers and leaving the door. Ross is like 540, 90, something around there. And Darko is like 540, 45 or something. They're not even a whole second between them right now.
Yeah.
And I think most of that has just simply been Ross's movement catching him up. Again, I'm going to check this store transition as well. Ross is slightly ahead now. And I think that's primarily because Ross is just ever so slightly better movement than Darko. He might have lost the lead a little bit there from those two flubs, but he's just ever so slightly faster in his movement. And that's why you might see two runners that seem to play at a similar level, but there's like a huge multi-minute gap between them. That's simply because one of them is ever so slightly better at their movement. And in this case, that would be Ross. It's probably the most difficult thing, I think, for runners to improve on, because you pretty much can only improve on it by just playing the game more. There's not too much you can do to get ever so slightly faster with your movement. The trade-off is you're more likely is you run a very real risk of making minor flubs here and there from just trying to go too fast. At that point, the next threshold to conquer is consistency. Oh no, Ross, come on now, don't do this to me.
Ross failing bomb jumps.
Yeah, they're still neck and neck.
Yep.
Ross getting a bit of bad RNG on that room right there. There's not much you can do when the Ripper gets in your way like that. But again, he's keeping it close. There is still not a second gap between the runners right now. Now, as said, I think this gap will widen, barring any, well, every time I say that, Ross seems to make a mistake, so I think I'm going to shut up about that for a little while. But yeah, really just minor movement things. Up until later on, minor movement things are going to dictate who's ahead here.
Uh-oh, Darko falling into the lava.
Yeah, that might have pushed him behind Ross. And it did. But Ross messes up his refill skip. But it doesn't matter because, Darko, he's going to actually skip getting the refill. I don't know if that's going to work out for him.
Yeah.
Like that?
He's got two missiles, so we'll have to see
but
how
he most certainly doesn't have the health.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me. I mean, if he gets good drops, he'll be fine.
Yeah, but not having full health. Oh no! And then he opens the door.
And Ross gets it.
Go in.
Yeah, that's another bad habit that a lot of runners will do. When you fall down like that, you actually have to go down to the second door you'll see. If you try going to the first door, you'll just simply run into the, well, you'll run into a lava room, and you don't want to do that, or I should say heated room. I mean, I guess it's technically a lava room, but... Yeah, there's not nearly enough space for Darko to... Okay, Ross taking the safety strat to take down this, Oh, yep, he's got a...
And... yeah.
Oh, come on, Ross,
Or
you're
he
killing
could just
me.
start shooting missiles at the wall.
I don't... Ross, what are you even... Ross, please stop
What are you
throwing your
doing?
lead away. Just please stop throwing your lead away. I don't know what possesses you to try and throw your leads away, but please stop it. It kills me every time someone makes a mistake like that. Ross almost always tries to make another mistake like that. And that's what I really hate about watching Ross. I don't understand why this always seems to happen. Okay, and now let's see how Side Hopper Room treats Ross. Again, I am not counting anything out yet because...
I mean, we saw his practice before the race started. And... yeah. I feel like that kind of speaks for itself to some extent.
See, dude, I'm like afraid because Ross really does have a bad habit of like doing that. Or like,
At least
hey,
he
X
didn't
person
fall
made a
down
mistake.
there.
Like, that's
Then
why
again,
I'm
he-
like worried, because I figured Ross might do something. Okay, well, Ross has super missiles now, but
Yeah, as long as he doesn't fall down on the way back to... yeah, I'm
see,
just
that's
gonna
why
shut
I'm
up at this point.
thinking like
I don't want to jinx it.
like that.
Well,
Ross,
well.
I swear, how do you do this? How does he even do this? I don't get how he does it.
Not sure if
I
commentators
don't
curse or just bad
understand how
luck.
he does it. I don't get how he does it. This happens every... I don't... Ross. At this point, I'm almost convinced he does it on purpose. Like, I don't even understand how this always seems to happen to him. Well, there went his lead. They're both entering this room at the same time. He literally threw away his lead. Even... Ross, just... I hate watching Ross so much. Like, we give him so much crap, but this is why. But yeah. Either way, though, I'm not too worried about it right now, because Ross is... They were about equal on the first race, and Ross was able to catch up even after making a huge mistake on Acid Worm Skip, so...
We should probably start toning it down.
Yeah.
Good ridley fight though by both runners. Excellent ridley fight. Both of them are now on their way out. Ross might have some trouble here because he had to pick up an energy tank that normally they'd be grabbing on the way out. But I still think he'll be fine. It shouldn't really cause me any problems. I would be more concerned if Darko had been forced to grab it, but I think both runners should make it out of Ridley okay. Okay, Rossu's gonna farm his owls here, and he gets 2 super drops. That's actually great. Normally when leaving Ridley, you want to have Ridley drop supers, but in Rossu's case, he was a bit unlucky there, so he wasn't able to actually get the supers. So in that case, his options were to either take a refill in somewhere else and get those supers back, or try and farm those owls, which he did, and he actually got lucky, so he was able to. The owls have a pretty good drop rate for supers anyway, but you can sometimes not get enough supers, not get any. So he needs at least, if he wants to kill Kraid as fast as possible, he'll need at least 3. But if he wants to, he can still kill him even if he gets 2 reasonably quick. But thankfully for Ross, he was able to actually get the 2 supers that he needed, the 2 super drops that he needed to get all 4 supers back. And now he'll have a slightly easier time with taking out the Kraid fight later on. And both runners have high jump. Again, Rossu's reclaimed his lead, so that's actually really good. And barring any issue, he should have a pretty easy time getting out of here. Alright, so both runners have made it out, and I don't think either of them have fallen into the lava. Both runners on their way to Kraid right now, and again, this is the scary part of the run, but we've seen both runners do pretty well with Acid Worm Skip. I believe Ross should be able to get it on his first try, but if he does not, I mean, Ross and Darko should be able to get it the first try, but I would not straight up assume it's going to happen. There's a very real chance that either runner could fail AWS. But Ross was able to actually catch up before with quite a few fails from their last race, so I think even if he fails it like 1 or 2 times, I think he'll be okay. Darko may be in trouble though if he fails it. It'll be hard to reclaim that lead if he or it'll be hard to get a lead if he fails AWS once or twice. I do believe Darko knows the backup strat for the horizontal bomb jump if he does fail it, so we may get to see that, and we're actually going to see a really cool strat for getting AWS for the first time from on Darko's end. Once we hop in here, you'll actually notice Ross is going to do it first, and Ross does one of the 2 simple strats, either the 1 bomb or the 4 bomb method, which are fairly straightforward. 1 bomb has you placing 1 bomb and trying to propel you to the left, and then you release ledge grab. But Darko's, well, I think I'll let him do it and then explain it.
And Ross got it first try, so...
Yeah, so did Darko. So that strat is a little weird. What you want to do is you want to roll off that last block and place the bomb as you're rolling. Palm, can you describe this better than me?
Probably not.
Well, I will try to describe it without tripping on my words this time. But
Darko's stream.
Yeah, what you would want to do is you basically plant the bomb as you're, I believe, rolling back up. Or maybe as you're rolling out, not entirely sure, but I am so sorry, guys. But you want to place the bomb as you're going back up, or while you're rolling out, and as you're going back up, the bomb will actually okay. I can explain this after my words now. The way the Acid Worm Skip Darko did works is that as you are going. You first off, you power grip. Okay.
Quick, don't blink.
Okay, let's see the crate fight real quick, and I will get back to explain this. Okay, so ideally you want to shoot those 3 super missiles into his mouth as quickly as possible, but if you're a little slow, you can jump up and get the last one in before Kraid closes his mouth. Alright, well, back to the AWS method. What you want to do is, as you're rolling out, you want to place the bomb, and then you power grip as you're exiting onto the left side, and you roll back up, and as you roll back up, you will actually go into Morphball, and the bomb will propel you to the left, and you unmorph and grab the other ledge. So I told you guys I could explain it. Oh, and Ross showing off a cool little 2 glitches there. One is a refill glitch, which is where you basically refill as you're grabbing the item, as you saw there. And the other one was the blue Chozo glitch, the blue statue glitch, which I honestly do not know the full details about how that glitch works, but it makes the Chozo sprite a little bit glitchy. It doesn't really save any time, but it's a neat little thing to show. And Ross did not give up a lead. He's still ahead. So again, both runners are neck and neck, which is not what I was expecting, but I think it's really neat to see, especially given that runners have had a few mishaps, but for the most part, they've actually done a pretty good job. So at this point, I believe both runners, I know Rossi will go for Brinstar Super, and Darko should as well, if I remember offhand, but Brinstar Super is basically kind of a difficult trick. You want to store a Shine Spark, and then Shine Spark back out, and okay, so Darko does not go for it.
Not going for it.
But you have to do a few difficult wall jumps there to get onto that platform, and you have to spark across there towards the end before he did the ball spark in order to actually keep your spark. Once you do that, you ball spark over in that hole that Rossu did, and you will get that super missile. And that is not an easy trick at all. We have seen a lot of fails on that, even by runners who are considered to be better than Ross. So that is not a hard trick at all. And I want to give Ross a little bit of praise here, because I don't see him miss that. I don't think I've seen him miss that. It's extremely difficult to do, and just to not fail it, even after doing it as many matches as Ross has been in, that's not easy at all.
Just like that, it looks like Darko's got a lead again.
Well, kind of. I mean, Ross
like
obviously lost some time to get Brinstar Super, but yeah, so the interesting thing here is that you want to get as many super drops as possible from Metroid Torian, and if Darko gets really good luck, he will actually be ahead of Ross. He will stay ahead. But the reason people get Brinstar Super is because you very rarely have that perfect luck, and so you actually want to get Brinstar Super, because it can actually help you out deal with some bad luck. And as you can see here, Darko's been actually pretty good so far with his luck. He got his first super missile back, or his first, actually I think he fired 3 of them, so he got 2 super drops at least. And then now he's, this is not good.
And he got grabbed,
Okay, well, he made it through. That is actually a really cool strat, although I don't think it went completely as planned, but whenever you get grabbed, it can have a very bad habit of being a chain reaction leading to bad things. So to actually see him get through that room with minor issue. Okay, I'm starting to work. I think Darko might actually be getting his lead here, because he is having incredible luck right now, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So I don't think Ross is going to get much out of that Brinstar Super, but he might. I mean, it's important to note that if Ross's movement is just ever so slightly better, he can regain the lead even if he doesn't get it from the RNG. But he's trying to conserve his supers a little bit here, I think. Yeah, so again, Darko, I don't know if he'll use the supers to destroy any of the Torian things or not. He might. And Ross, he has to, yeah. Okay, you got a super missile expansion there. Again, I don't know if he's actually going to use it. I think he gets a... Yeah, okay, he might use these supers to kill these two.
Looks like Darko's opting to destroy all the Zepatites.
Okay, so Darko won't have to farm as much. The runners generally have to farm here to get more missiles and stuff back, but Darko doesn't need his farm as much since he destroyed all the Zepatites. And this is kind of a panic area for Darko. He fights the Mother Brain fight a bit differently than what most people usually fight it. He generally tends to stand like in front of Mother Brain on the platforms like you're supposed to, and shoot the missiles and supers that way. While most other runners will actually take advantage of a little neat little trick here where you can actually stand right next to Mother Brain and only have to worry about the red rinkas that come out. And as you can see, he's kind of, for destroying the glass, you actually need to destroy the glass by standing right where they're standing right now. But you can, yeah, that's a common thing to happen, is get clipped by that beam right there, but okay, so Ross having to watch out a little bit here. Those spots can really hurt you if you're not careful. And Darko finishes up the fight pretty cleanly. He still managed to keep his lead, so that's gonna have to be a little bit of a wall to climb for Ross as he goes into this next phase. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened there. Did he fire one too many missiles and waste his super?
Uh-oh.
I think he did. I think he fired way too many missiles and wasted his super. Okay, well, he has enough, I think, now.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Ooh.
Okay, actually, really smart move here by Ross. It is a very real possibility that Darko may die, and if he does, Ross will... by Ross restarting, if Darko does die now, Ross will actually have a huge advantage over Darko when Darko has to restart, if he even decides to restart. Which again, Darko should restart because Ross might die again. You never know. We've had quite a few deaths in this tournament, so I would not count out the possibility. And I can sympathize with this because it's unfortunately how I got eliminated from the tournament too, so... It's not a fun thing to die to Mother Brain. It's not common, but it's not fun to have happen either.
Yeah, I feel like I've had deaths to Mother Brain as well in this tournament.
It's a real killer early on, too. Like, especially when you're first learning this game, Mother Brain can be a really difficult hurdle to tackle.
Yeah. I mean, Turian in general, but especially Mother Brain. Darko get map skip? Gets it. And not taking the safety save.
Again, that's going to be risky because by not, I may not even be where Ross has died, but by not taking that save...
He said something in chat that seems to indicate that he is aware.
Okay. So that's a little bit of a risk, but I mean, Suitless is pretty much RNG free, so I think if he feels confident in his play, he won't have a problem getting through. And Darko's plays this really good, so I think he'll be fine. Okay, Ross makes a perfect hive room from what I saw, so that's actually a really good start. especially given Darko, if he dies, especially soon, there's a small chance he could catch up, but the more better Ross plays and the further along he gets, the worse off that Darko will be if he does die. I would not be too surprised to see Darko take a safety save at somewhere like Charlie, before Charlie, in order to actually make sure that he can maintain his lead, but if he does not, he really runs a very serious risk of losing this race. Yeah. Alright, so Suitless is going really well for Darko at the moment. Ross got trolled by bugs a little bit there. Not much you can really do about that, unfortunately. But both runners are playing fairly well right now, so as long as this keeps up, Ross, again, he needs to keep playing as is, and he will be fine if Darko dies, but unfortunately, he will have to rely on Darko dying in order to get the chance of winning back. Oh, almost got it. So Darko was going for a strat called Sam's Trap, which actually allows you to avoid getting detected. That's keeping detected. And in that case, he actually kind of had it. He lost his detection at the end, but unfortunately, that other pirate saw him as he was falling down, and so now he's going to lose a little bit of time here. He's going to have to go into this room on the left to cancel out the detection early. And that's not a huge time loss or anything, but it's just a little bit. Again, this room can be pretty hazardous if Darko is not careful. Alright, good job. He makes it through without any issue. At this point, I think Darko is fairly safe. There's still a few more hazard spots where he runs risk of dying, but as long as he just keeps up like this, his biggest thing out to worry about will be the Charlie fight before, at least before Suitless is over. There is a spot in this room where if he fails a wall jump, things will go very bad very quickly. So hopefully that does not happen. And it looks like Darko is safe. So now, will he take the safety save?
He's healing.
He is taking the safety save. So that'll make it a lot harder for Ross to actually catch up. It would take probably at least like 2 or 3 deaths to Charlie, don't you think? Or 2 or 3 deaths from Charlie and after?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on where he dies. If he dies.
Yeah, that's another thing too. And if he does have a few deaths to Charlie, after dying, he won't have to watch this cutscene again. So... Oh, and a Ross actually appears to be getting the double bomb jump. This is actually the fastest method to climb that room, and it saves a lot of time. And if you're optimal about it, it will actually save a decent chunk of time over having to wall jump up there or single bomb jump up there like we saw Darko do.
And it looks like not going to die to Charlie. This time.
Alright, so he cleans up the Charlie fight pretty easily. Both of our runners right now are actually running an emulator at the moment, I believe. Darko's also on emulator.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure both of them are on emulator.
I know Rossu is on BizHawk emulator. Well, BizHawk's like pretty much one of the few options you can actually run within the tournament. So Darko and I believe Rossu is definitely on BizHawk, and I believe Darko is as well. I don't know if there's like another legal option. I don't think there is, but there might be. Okay, so both runners are. I was just informed by an invisible voice in my head that both runners are playing on BizHawk. And right here, Darko's gonna have to take a little bit of a detour because he didn't get Brinstar Super in order to get this Super Missile Tank. Another thing about Brinstar Super is that you need the Super Missile Tank in order to kill Mecha Ridley without, in order to kill Mecha Ridley effectively. Because for Mecha Ridley, they need 6 Super Missiles in order to actually kill him effectively. So you want to have 6 before that fight. And since Darko didn't get Brinstar Super, he's going to have to rely on getting that Super Missile. Yeah, from this point on for both runners right now, it's fairly straightforward. There isn't too much to talk about up until the Mecha Ridley fight.
Well, I feel like Darko needs to be needs to be careful with his health.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah. I mean, if he dies in the right spots, that could really easily allow Ross to catch up. So he needs to be careful. Okay, and Ross is now done with the Mago Cocoon fight, as Darko makes his way further and closer to Mecha Ridley. Now Darko going through the most boring room in the game. So over this room, pretty straightforward. You gotta just bomb your way through all those blocks. There's a few of them you can shoot through. It has alternating shoot and bomb blocks, I believe, for the whole thing. I might be wrong. It might just
That sounds
stop.
about.
I believe there's like a certain point where it just becomes slower to actually. Darko is now in what you might call the worst room in the game, and this room can be fairly difficult to go through, especially with his health right now. Seems like he'll make it through okay. This next pirate's pretty easy to kill, so he makes it through all right. But that room can be extremely dangerous.
I suspect we'll see him heal here. Or not. Okay.
Okay, Ross is actually doing the backup strat for if you fall down here, and that's basically allows you to you basically try and do a crumble jump, and you get to do what Ross did there, and you will actually end up back at the top. I'm not entirely sure how many attempts it is before it becomes slower than going the long way around. But I still feel like even like with 2 or 3 attempts, I think it's still probably faster to actually go that way. And now Darko is at the Iron Ted or Mecha Ridley fight. He wants to short hop. First, he wants to wait for Mecha Ridley to swipe him. And after that, he wants to short hop and fire as many super missiles in him as possible, ideally all 6. If he does that, he gets the quick kill.
Otherwise, Mecha will do things like shoot missiles or fireballs, and it's just unpredictable. Now there's one big trick left, and that's the escape spark.
I believe Darko actually, I think last time he just pulled him all the way back, and yeah, he's going, okay. I saw him practicing the setup earlier, so I was hoping we were going to get to see that, but...
I saw him practicing earlier, and he was doing the space jump method. Like the space
I was referring to actually getting the spark.
Oh, yeah.
You can, normally there's like a little bit of a setup you can do where you can actually go and stand on a certain spot, and you will gain speed booster basically right as you break.
And he goes
the
for
blocks
instead.
I didn't even know some Ross actually got the good super drops as well. And we're actually going to see a really cool strat here in a second. Killing these black pirates can be fairly difficult, and most of the time there's a little bit of an easy strat you can do where if you stand on a certain spot up at the top, you'll basically be able to stun lock them. Or you can just do this if you're love crazy and unsafe strats.
And he's done.
Yep.
With the time of 42:57.
I am pretty sure that's faster than this PBU by a pretty good margin, I think. I may be wrong, but I think last I checked his PBU was like a 43 or 44 something. He does not have splits on stream, so I have no idea. And I don't know if that's like his gold color or not. So even if Ross hadn't died, he would have given him a run for his money for sure. So again, congratulations to Darko. Good try by Ross. He had a really good run. It's extremely unfortunate what happened there, but there's not much you can do about that in a lot of cases. It's just... stuff happens. It's extremely unfortunate, actually. I think me personally, I think that even if the race wasn't as close as we planned, we got to see a lot of really cool strats by both runners. So I'm curious who his in-game time is going to be, actually. So at this point, almost called Ross Darko. This is a great start. So at this point, we will be seeing Ross going to fight Kraid. And the fight, again, fairly easy. He just needs to shoot 3 super missiles into him, and if he's a little bit slow, he can shoot one in the mouth. Fight should be pretty easy and pretty fast. And he gets the quick kill, the perfect one too, with being able to shoot all the super missiles in his mouth without having to worry about doing the jump shot. And he gets the refill skip again. Or I shouldn't say refill skip, well, refill glitch. With the blue ghost glitch, with the blue Chozo glitch. Alright, Torian round 2. Again, it's insane to me how consistent Ross is at Brinstar Super. Like, he likes to joke that it's free every time, but honestly, it is a fairly difficult trick. Even if Ross does make it look free every time. Obstacle that Metroid with just standard missiles. I believe he wants to use the supers for this room or a later room, so that may be why. I think he likes to have 4 supers going into the 3rd Metroid room. I guess it's the 4th Metroid room. Because that room can get very hairy very fast, especially if you do not have the proper missile count to deal with it. Alright, he has now destroyed all of the, he's gotta freeze that Rinka right there, and he needs 2 more missiles if my count is correct. Okay, he's good. Alright, Ross has gone through Tori, and he's now going to be going to the escape sequence here. Now, to start off, as you run against Motherbrain's tank, it lets you store a Shine Spark. I'm not entirely sure why, but it counts it as not moving in place, I guess. So you mentioned the Shine Spark, you take it, you don't want to be too far to the left, or else the spark will not let you grab the ledge that you saw Ross grab at the end there. But otherwise, you should be able to grab that ledge and you just climb up the rest of the way like normal. Unfortunately, you can't spark to the very top of the shaft. You might be able to, but I don't believe you can. I think there's blocks are set up in such a way that something will stop you. And now Ross has officially exited escape, so he will now be entering the suitless section, which is fairly difficult. So the Star Suitless section, pretty straightforward. Up until after map room, we'll see enemies start appearing, but again, fairly easy to survey on. Gets map skip, no problem. I'm gonna go ahead and take a refill here, restore his health back to full to help him get through Suitless. Now, if all goes well, he should be able to freeze his pirate and freeze the one up here without noticing him, and he'll actually be able to go into this next room. Believe he did it right. Go into this next room, and this gate will instantly raise up. Oh, okay. I don't know how that pirate spotted him, but I guess it did.
Somehow.
Yeah, usually I thought he didn't get spotted. Okay. Well, the game. There's probably a way to tell based on what it looks like whenever you froze it if like it spotted you or not. Right, Ross does a little bit of a jump extend there in order to make it up to that platform without having to grab the ledge. Jump extend is simply shooting as you're spinning, and it gives you just a little bit more of horizontal momentum, I believe, and it'll actually allow you to avoid things like that. Again, keeping track of all these minor things can be difficult, but it's really what you need to keep track of in order to be one of the best runners of this game. Ross misses the shot there. I'm not sure. Can he still get Sam Strap from that? Or... Oh, almost got it, I think. The last pirate spotted him, though. Unfortunately, both runners got messed up by that last little pirate right there, hanging in that little doorway. Okay, so Ross making it through. He will now be on his way to almost to the Charlie room. A lot of these rooms here, if you mess up a wall jump, things can go wrong really quickly. This room isn't quite the worst about it, but he will need to wall jump up there, stop himself a little bit for that pirate to jump out of the way, and then he'll need to slow. I believe you can do it without slowing down, but it's kind of hard to do it. Freeze that last pirate that we saw, and now he's on his way. He's about to enter the room that I consider the worst room in the game because I'm terrible at wall jumping. In this, not this room, but the room after. If you fail a wall jump, fall down, it's death a lot of the time. Because all those pirates are at the bottom there, and they're just waiting for you to drop down so they can all just make your day miserable. So now, Ross is about to enter the Charlie fight.
If he could not no wall jumps.
Probably the really only slow down break that you get in this game are from the cutscenes that pop up. Really good Charlie fight. So basically, when it gets glitched, too nice. So for the Charlie fight, you basically have to wait for all those symbols to pop up, and you will need to actually shoot them whenever the symbol does pop up. You can speed up. I believe it re-rolls the RNG if you shoot it while it is not while the symbol is not up, while it shows yourself and not the symbol. And you need to do this 4 times. First symbol is free, but after that you need to do this 4 times, and it's pretty much RNG whenever they pop up, so you need to be quick, and each round's like harder to hit than the last, so... And again, Ross does not actually have to go back and get the speed booster there in order to get that missile, because he got Brinstar Super. So now he just needs to go through, and from this point on, I believe he will be turning left. I believe he does that, yeah. You can generally avoid being spotted by those pirates if you turn left, but I think one of the ones above them actually spotted him there, so... I'm not sure if you're able to do too much about that, if that does happen. Really tight space jumping by there to actually get Ross to that room fairly safely. It can be kind of annoying to deal with the, I cannot think of the enemy's name, but the enemies that shoot lightning out. But if you move quickly through there, I think you're mostly okay. But they can shoot you, but you can manipulate them a little bit by charging up a charge beam. So Ross is able to make it through that room okay because of fast space jumping. Nice through that room, alright. So now Ross is in the worst room of the game. He's making it through pretty easily so far. Again, the room can be fairly annoying if you just make even a minor mistake. Even a mistake you may not even realize was a mistake, so it's good to be able to make it through that room just fine. In Ross' case, he moved perfectly, so he didn't have to worry about anything. Trolled by pirates a little bit there, but again, makes it through really easy. Now for the Mecha Ridley fight. Again, this fight's pretty straightforward. He just wants to wait for him to swipe, and then he will shoot 6 super missiles into his chest. Uh-oh. Okay, well this is actually okay. Ross landed most of the super missiles, which means he only needs to land 3 missiles into Mecha Ridley's chest in order to kill him, and again, worked out fine.
At least it was only one that he tanked. At least it was only one that he missed. Not like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I should probably mention that. You only need to shoot 3 missiles if you only miss 1. I believe it's 8 if you miss 2, and I cannot remember the numbers offhand for 3 or 4.
3 would be 13, and 4 would be 18. Because 1 super missile does the same amount of damage. Just 5 missiles.
As said, that's what I would have went with. I feel like if I say it, I'm gonna be wrong because the enemy's gonna have like some weird damage variable or something. I'm just gonna be wrong. Alright, Ross goes for the setup here. Uh-oh, that's... He may have some trouble moving the workblock back. Yeah, unfortunately the workbot is kind of a jerk.
Yep.
But Ross gets a speed boost okay, so he will be able to make it through here. And now for the ball spark. Now we actually get to see the other space pirate setup, where Ross will actually go and I think he's going to kill that pirate later. He's going to jump down there to draw their attention, get them to climb up this ledge, and as they do, he will shoot them right as they do. He got messed up by the pirate a little bit, So he's gonna go over here to lure them back down, and then he's gonna jump back down. Yeah, I don't think he actually needs to I don't think he actually needs to jump back down there. I think they will just climb up. Yes, they do. Okay. So as you can see right here, as long as he shoots them and keeps shooting them, they won't climb up. If he does mess up and he stops shooting them for some reason, they will climb up though. So you got to be careful.
And Ross is finished with a 109.39.
All right, so congratulations to both runners. I think we might have Ross with us, maybe, possibly.
He's in the channel right now.
So Ross, really unfortunate what happened there at the end, but you still completed your run. And so I guess to start off, how did you enjoy the tournament?
He's in the channel right now.
It
So
wasn't
Ross,
as
really
good as
unfortunate what
I
happened there
mean,
at the
the tournament's good. The tournament itself is good, but my runs were just horrible. A lot of spaghetti everywhere, especially with AWS. I think I did really bad.
Yeah, sometimes things can get out of control like that. It's unfortunate when it happens, but it does happen. It happens to everyone, so.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was a good race until I died. I think it was close. We both had made one major mistake each.
You two were neck and neck. Like,
yeah, you two were neck and neck for most of that.
Yeah,
Torium was kind of, even before the Mother Brain fight, Torium was kind of a jerk to you because it was Darko was getting fairly solid luck and you weren't getting as lucky as he was. So
yeah, I had like 2 super drops, I think, something like that. But you know, it is what it is. Like I need the backup strat for the pillar room, but I just didn't want to attempt it for some reason, even though it's like miles faster than the going around, and you know, going back to get the supers. So it's whatever. But yeah, it was a good game. Darko was really good, and you know he really kept it close. I think that if I didn't die, it still would have been close. It might have been like a tie again or something. I mean, but yeah, congratulations to Darko.
I feel obligated to ask this. Now that you're out of the tournament, how will you be continuing on with Zero Mission? Will you keep playing it? Will you take a break? Will you try a different category?
God, I've been I've been getting a lot of pressure to do hundo. I actually did my first 100% run earlier today, although it was segmented. I know like the first 60 to 65% of the hundo. The last 35 is something I have to learn. So if there is a 100% tournament, I might consider joining. Otherwise, I might just stick to any percent. JRP is giving me problems. He keeps beating my PB, and I keep beating it back. So I'll have to beat him again.
Yeah, I think that's. I know 100% was discussed. I don't think any plans have actually been started to be made on it yet, though. I think it's still in the someone just brought it up phase.
Yeah, hopefully there is. I know that the leaderboard for 100% isn't that grouped. You know what I mean? Like the times are so spread between like hour 110 to like maybe 2 hours or something like that. And hopefully this will convince some of the runners who are actually on the leaderboard to improve their times. You know, so that we can get 100%, maybe. Otherwise, I'm just gonna stick to any percent. I'm gonna stick to mastering AWS. It's so funny because I know how to do like every other trick. Like it's so easy, but not AWS for some reason.
I mean, you just gotta
else
work on
I
it,
can
man.
do.
You can
Yeah.
get it. I know you can.
I mean, I talked to Eagle about this too. Like Eagle's my mentor, by the way. I talked to Eagle about this. And the fact that you have to, for the 4-bomb method, the fact that you have to place 4 bombs rapidly is just a major downfall for me because I don't spam fast. I don't know if you ever seen like my Turian runs. I can't kill Metroids fast enough with 5 missiles. It's just bad. Maybe it's because I'm like 82 years old, and you know my arthritis or my carpal tunnel or whatever is affecting that. But yeah, AWS just kills me, man.
I always make fun of you for doing 1-bomb method, but that makes a lot of sense as to why you'd want to use that method.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hype up 1-bomb method, you know, as the greatest, whatever. The truth is just that I can't spam 4 bombs fast enough, and that's why I always talk about 1-bomb.
I mean, there aren't too many spots where you need to spam in Zero Mission anyway. So
there are several spots. Crate is one of them. That's why I always keep 4 supers. For Kraid, I can't get the 3rd super off fast enough, and then for Turian, it's just like really slow Metroid kills. And like sometimes I'll be too slow in trying to kill the Zebs. And I think that's about it. And of course, the Black Pirates. If you want to get them really fast, you gotta shoot really fast.
Mm-hmm.
But yep, work on some any percent. I might de-rust on some fusion, maybe, or if there's a 12-hour challenge coming up soon, I might consider picking up another game. But as far as
Ross wins 45.
I was so close. My 46 is a really low 46. I think it's like a 46.20 or something like that. So maybe I might get a 45 someday if I can shake off all the rust. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't plan on doing hundo unless there's like a goal behind it, like a tournament that might convince me to do 100.
I mean, 100% is the best category. I mean, it's like always the best category.
So they say. But you know, for me, the shorter, the sweeter. But yeah, that's all I have, man. Congratulations again to Darko. Facing off against Manitobi. Be a really good race.
Yeah, right now we don't have any, like we do not have any more matches scheduled according to the match schedule, so I don't know what the next match will be. we still have, I believe we still have, let me see here. We have at least 12 more races that need to happen, possibly 13, depending on if Grand Finals has a bracket reset. And none of them are scheduled. And out of the scheduled matches, there are 4 matches right now that are actually, like, the opponents are set that need to be scheduled. And JC, did you say that you know when the next match is, or? Okay, so we do not have any matches set yet. Okay, so we think some of the matches are probably going to be pushed back to past the new year because of the holidays and all the other and New Year's and all that. Some matches are, I'm assuming they can't hear you, so I need to repeat this. But some matches are hopefully, some matches might get scheduled in the next 2 weeks. But with it being around Christmas time and all that, I would not bank on it. So
It might be after New Year's before we have another match.
yeah. So if we don't have a match between now and then, we'll see you guys then. If not, have a happy holidays and a great New Year. 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a couple of Super Metroid races tomorrow that should be interesting to watch.
Okay, so I was just told the next thing scheduled on Speed Gaming is at 3 p.m. tomorrow. There will be a Zero Mission, a Super Metroid 100% race.
3 p.m.
I got my
tomorrow.
money on Behemoth. Behemoth is just smashing the competition right now. It's great.
I have not been keeping up with that tournament at all, so I don't know how it's going right now.
I've been watching some of the matches, but yeah, we'll have to see. That match tomorrow appears to be Darko versus Galamaz. So, we'll have to see. And then there's another match tomorrow at 6.
So can we mention how ridiculous some of the bosses in Mega Man X2 are?
I wouldn't know because I haven't played that game, so.
I just looked over at Darko's stream and I was like, what in the world is that thing he's fighting?